Hey guys, this is Jay Hendricks. I was thinking today, the foundation of suffering, I think it's got to be self consciousness because if we are to relate to anybody, um, we have to know we exist. And, and we almost have to see ourselves in others. And I see the foundation of suffering as dwelling on the fact that there's no meaning to anything. But that only happens if you are focusing on the self. And it's when you're looking through a self consciousness and yet forgetting that self consciousness, you're looking out on everything else, serving, you know, people and things outside of yourself that um, you experience that state of meaning to where you forget you exist for a sec. So when you're fully engaged in something, you forget you exist for a sec or for however long that time is. So, yeah, it's an interesting idea. We need self consciousness, but it seems to be the foundation to suffering. Um, Sometimes I feel like maybe there is no meaning to what we're doing. You look at all the everything that happens in the cosmos, in our world and our families, in the universe. Evolution seems to be doing something, producing us as beings and animals and plants out of perfectly cooled stardust. We're like a perfectly baked cupcake of stardust. And this is what we have become with all of our objects, our books, our chairs, everything. TVs, iPhones, YouTube. YouTube came out of the sun. It's an interesting thing. Does it have a meaning? I don't know. Sometimes I feel like uh, the further you go into enlightenment, the more it is cease questioning and forget yourself. So we go through these painstaking or effortless, I guess it depends on the path, um, these painstaking or effortless ways to gain knowledge of reality. And it ends up being, maybe, it ends up being just stop questioning. No one knows. No one knows why any of this exists. So cease questioning and just enjoy yourself. But see, that doesn't sound right to me. So I don't know. It's an interesting idea. Self consciousness, there's something about that. It's the point through which you are looking at everything else. And the only reason you're able to distinguish yourself from everything else is because you have identified the self consciousness. And that's part of the layer. That's a layer on your overall perception. And you have developed to the point where you can now distinguish yourself from other things, and yet you can, you know, the further you get in enlightenment, you start realizing how one everything is, how everything is connected. Um, so it's our relationship with the self, I think, is the key to suffering. We're always going to suffer, but if we forget that we exist in the times that we're engaged, then, and if we perfect that process, I could see that as being the transcension, I don't know, of the physical realm, true enlightenment, which would be fully engaged, forgetting the self, completely engaged in serving the others, and that would transcend suffering. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. That was a pretty rocky attempt to describe some pretty abstract stuff. So if you guys disagree, if you have other ideas, I would love to hear them and talk about them. Anyway, have a good night. Bye.